Welcome to ISB. Today we are talking with Oscar Silva, who is guest lecturer for Strategic Change Management. Thanks for coming. Can you tell us briefly about what is change management and why is it important?
A lot of organizations face plenty of challenges on a day-to-day basis. Those challenges can come from the political environment, it can come from changes in markets, changing consumers, change from the environment, competition as well. You have to adapt yourself if you want to be successful. And that's when change management counts, because you may have the wrong structure, you may have the wrong staffing, you may have the wrong systems, and you need to change in order to be able to compete effectively. In addition to that, the pace and pace of change is changing dramatically. Changes are happening much quickly nowadays for all kinds of reasons, because the world is becoming much more integrated, competition is increasing. Therefore, your awareness and execution of change management has to happen in a much more fast, but at the same time organized way.
Tell us briefly about the methodology. What cases you used, what kind of method you used while teaching to our participants at ISB?
Well, I had my business training at Harvard Business School, and as you know, Harvard is well known for using the case method. The case method, in essence, is using a practical business case which raises several issues and try to involve the students in understanding what the critical issues are and how to implement. In this case, change. We used 3 different cases. The first case was a case on meat processing plant in Russia, which is going through a process of privatization, is going through a process of change by trying to change systems and trying to develop new ways of doing business. And I thought this case is relevant because in many ways it does present some of the issues that had happened here in Georgia as well, as far as privatization, mobilizing new businesses into new markets and so forth. The second case is a case on the privatization of the Zurich airport. Again, it's an actual case that took place back in the late century and the beginning of this century. And it's a case whereby a team is hired to implement the privatization of the Zurich airport. And there are a lot of events that happen. These are events that happen accidentally and basically require a management team to put themselves into alert to be able to manage effectively those crises in order not only to survive, but in order to compete. The third case is a case about Caterpillar, a well-known truck manufacturing company that used to be a market leader worldwide. And back in the 80s, faced several challenges in terms of competition, loss of market share, diminishing productivity. And the senior management had to go into a process of change, effectively involving a change of a strategy, a change of a structure, a change of systems. So these cases basically are complementary in presenting the issues that typically general managers face when they have to address change.
What we do here is more executive education. What do you think? Why is it important? Is it important, and why is it important in the modern world?
Executive education is becoming much more important as the world moves on. One of the reasons is because, again, the pace of change is very critical. Sometimes people do not have enough time to get out of the working environment and spend 1 year or 2 years in a pure academic environment. So there's a practical reason why executive education is becoming important. Another reason is that people tend to be promoted, and companies are looking for people basically to take new opportunities, new responsibilities. So executive education offers the opportunity, and it's a pragmatic way to enable people to play new roles, to learn new tools to effectively become good managers. Another important thing of executive education is that people, because they already have had previous working experience, the learning experience, the collective learning experience that happens during the process is quite high, and people can learn from each other much more.
Other than case studies, what kind of theories you discussed with the participants?
Well, we have used several models that address management change. One of them is the McKinsey model, and another one is the 7-step model developed by Professor Cotter, a well-known professor at Harvard Business School. These models effectively try to summarize the basic tools that have to be used when you are in a situation where you have to implement change. These models are very useful in the sense that help people to become disciplined in the approach they have to take when they are facing a situation of change. All of them are useful primarily in the context of the situation, and they are very relevant ways to discipline yourself, as I said, and in order to organize yourselves into the process of effecting change.
Thank you, Oscar. This was Oscar Silva, Lecturer for Strategic Change Management. This is ISB.